You step into a Goodwill for various reasons, whether that is to buy clothes for you or for your kids, to support the local community and the people that live within your community, to get a new bicycle, a new scooter, maybe a possible skateboard, maybe to find that one tool that you've been wanting to try out, but you don't want to get anything expensive. Maybe some new fine china, or I guess I should say used fine china. And within those various things that is within a Goodwill, you learn a lot about your community in almost a nonverbal way. Usually when I go into Goodwill, it's for clothes or little trinkets that I see in the back, or maybe I'd find like a vinyl or a CD in one of the corners, and I just skim through to see what people have been putting in. And all the while, I always come to a final assumption as to what my community values in their day-to-day and what they throw away or give away. I guess it always interests me, especially to think about who goes into a Goodwill and who donates to a Goodwill and who works at a Goodwill. I don't think all Goodwills, have a set system in how they're run. I've been to Goodwills in Seattle. I've been to Goodwills in Baltimore, in DC. I think in DC. Actually, more likely DC than Baltimore. And in a city-run version, it's more of pretty bigger and a lot more options, and seems a lot wider in variety, especially in Seattle. There's this one place in the China district, I believe, Chinese International District. I don't know if anyone's ever been to that one, but they have some of the most coolest CDs I've seen just in there, and I managed to get 10 or so from their collection that I actually really enjoyed, and people that I liked, just also new or just people that I haven't really checked out for myself. So it'd be people like Sade and the Velvet Underground, and what else did I get? I got what's it called? I don't know if it's Beck. I think it's Beck. Yeah, I got that one Beck album. I think it's Odelay. That was really good. I also picked up a Pearl Jam album and Disintegration by The Cure. I don't know. There was just a lot of good options that I thought was pretty cool. What else? So yeah, I think that it really depends on the location. But the one that I always frequent is more of a rural type of Goodwill, where it's more small, and I can see it heavily in the music side of things, where things seem a lot more, almost 70s to 80s in terms of music, which is, I think it's valid for rural areas or places that have a lot of farms and such, because they would be listening to that music from that era, and people who even own vinyls and want to give them away are probably people who, have had them for a very long time. I know that like newer generations, like millennials and um, Gen Zs, would have vinyls from some of their favorite artists that kind of defines their generation, and it's a lot harder to give those away because it's, you know, it still means something to you. It still means something to the people that you're surrounded by, and you end up finding value in some of the older uh, vinyls that you come across. So in a non-verbal way, I think I mean you walk in and you already grasp so much about the culture of the community that you live in, the area that you live in, the location, the state, the town, and some of the textiles and music that they value, some of the art that's within certain areas like frames and vinyls and CDs and certain books that you will come across. It's infinitely different than like if you walked into a library and you saw just like different genres everywhere. Within a Goodwill, it seems almost specific in terms of what is given away most of the time, and usually it's rare, or you'd have to go in more frequently in order to run into things that, you know, just catch your eye more often, because people may be moving, people may be like tired of the thing, people may think other people may deserve that item, people may think they have too many of that item. I know I have a lot of stuff that probably isn't that impressive to me anymore, but may be impressive to other people. I haven't given away a lot of things to Goodwill, mainly because I know that the money isn't so much, or it's not so much focused on like giving clothes to the homeless people. It's more of like the money that is earned and help to give them, you know, career paths. And that's what I've gathered from, you know, my little peruse, I guess. Which I think it's fair, it's legit. And where I am, we have another system where it's like a mission center, kind of like a town hall area where you can donate clothes and it goes directly to homeless people. And I've done that with my mom like once every year, I'd say. You know, I don't have a lot of stuff that I would give away, but especially when it gets cold, it's like that's important to, you know, give those things to people who need them. I love the nonverbal interactions. People just looking for certain items that it's very hard to purchase at like a well-known store. Sort of like they know that people get bored of certain clothes and they just do a little hand-me-down, but like a more universal hand-me-down. I've met some people that have been wearing some like really cool clothes and they just straight up say, you know, I got that from a thrift store, bro. Like this was like $1. This was like $2. The only thing that I would be really surprised that people got from thrift stores would be like shoes, mainly because of how like especially if they're like really good shoes. Like I feel like people, unless you're like you just need them for everyday use, I feel like shoes is one thing that would very much impress me if you found a good deal on that. And vinyls. I think those two are like heavily important for me in terms of how cool it is to run into like rare items at Goodwill. I think if it was verbal, there would be communication in terms of what the community would want to see in a Goodwill and the prices that would be considered fair. I believe that's something that would be set up if we had like a town hall type of thing where it's like you come in and you know, say what you want out of this store and it's funded towards that. I think that's what a verbal one would be, where people actually actively say, you know, I want to see more of this item, that item. I guess that kind of takes away from the gem of running into cool items and kind of feels more greedy. Could get greedy, but something to think about, you know. It's a nice day outside. I'm enjoying it. Just finished a little skate sesh. I have a little hoarse voice-ish because I went bowling with a couple friends last night. And that was fun. This is great. I'm glad that I'm able to record another podcast episode about something random. And fill me in on your thoughts. Thank you for watching State of Mind Podcast, where we speak from our state of mind, I guess. That sounds like a nice outro, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, I'm chilling by a creek, so visualize that, I guess. A lot of squirrels moving about. Love y'all.